Yep, so lower than days.
Hours.
Half days.
Oh, half days.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys! It's Wednesday, and I have some personal news.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Okay, some personal news. So here's some personal news. How do they always start those things?
It's usually like,
Hey, some personal news.
yeah, hey, some personal news, or just all caps personal news, :
That one is... That's the worst of them,
That's
I
like
think.
personal news!
Right, personal news! I'm very sick.
One of my favorites is, I've got some news, and it's personal.
Oh, really?
I've got some news, this time
yeah.
it's personal.
This time, it's personal. That's something that I would think that we would do.
Mm-hmm.
Who does that?
I've seen it once or twice. I like that move a lot.
And this time, it's personal. How else can we...
I got a pizza, and this time it's personal.
Did you just do that one yourself?
Yep, off the top of the head.
That's pretty good. You're freestyling. Oh man, I had a great bar the other day. Totally freestyled, got 0 laughs, and it forced me to do how you gonna act like that wasn't funny? We were talking about what were you talking about? Oh, so I didn't want to get to this early in the podcast. First, I want to share some personal news, but Stanley has died at the age of 94.
Mm-hmm. Stanley, dead at 94. 95, I think he was.
I don't think he got there, Pete.
Ooh.
I think he was just 94.
I'm pretty sure he was 95.
You don't get to turn 95 when you die at age 94.
Stanley was 95. Here's the headline from the Hollywood Reporter. Stan Lee dead. Marvel Comics real life superhero was 95.
He was.
Now he's not.
I'm mortified that I spoke ill of the dead and besmirched his age. So very, very sorry to Stan Lee.
Didn't give him enough credit.
Right. We were doing a thing where, so because he died, did Stan Lee.
To clarify, he is dead.
He lived a great life that ended this week.
Yes.
We were
a formerly great life.
Yes, a long time great, but all good things must come to an end. Such as
Stanley's life.
It was awful. So, we were doing a thing on superhero characters, like which athlete is this character, and I didn't know how to do it, but I had to say that somebody was the Hulk, and I don't know what the Hulk does. I just know that he's green, and sometimes he doesn't have a shirt on, so I don't know. I gave like a really bad answer. But somebody said that Iron Man was LeBron James, and I said, well, you know why Iron Man couldn't be Kyrie Irving? And no answer. I said, because Kyrie's got a plant-based diet. Talking about iron. That was a
lack of iron, man. That was iron deficiency, man.
That was it was a little science joke, and I thought that was like the most clever thing I've ever come up with in my life. 0.0 repeating laughs. Anyway, the personal news is that I've got some news, and this time it's a pizza. For one. We'll talk about this in a exclusive Patreon thing that we have coming up. This is an episode where you can't listen to all of it unless you're a Patreon fan, because at some point in this episode we're going to say, all right, this next part is for Patreon subscribers only, so you're kind of SOL if you don't listen.
We'll explain the rules a little bit later.
Yeah, we've done it before. Yes. We'll do it again. But I was watching something where 3 guys split a large pizza, and it was the most offensive thing I've ever seen in my life. We'll get to it. So, the pizza news is that pizza's delicious, and my personal news is that it's Tuesday, November 13th, as we record this. I am wide. but I've got a lot of questions about it.
Okay.
Mainly, am I wide because I've been following your program, or have I just simply gained weight? And there's a huge chance it's the latter. But my clothes just don't fit anymore. I have like 6 things. I've changed my look. My go-to look usually at work is, I don't know, like suit and shirt. Sometimes I even do the tie. Sometimes I do it all the way up. Now I just wear like pants and a shirt, and not all of my blazers and suit jackets fit anymore, so I just don't do that, and I'm acting like it's my look, but it's a huge Regina George, sweatpants are all that fit me right now kind of thing.
Interesting. Yeah, your look has garnered plenty of attention and buzz
yes.
from the people.
Yes, the people,
especially the burgundy suit that you wear. I believe it's burgundy.
I can only wear that like once a year, because...
And when you do, oh boy, people talk
about
it.
They come out, yeah. But I know I don't know if there's like some rule where an employer is allowed to tell somebody to change their look or anything, but because I've volunteered to my employer multiple times, like, hey, if you want me to cut my hair or clean up or do anything in any way, get my act together.
If you would like me to get my life together, just please let me know.
Please tell me.
It's not going to happen if you don't tell me.
And they're like, why would we tell you what to do? Just like you, like whatever, like everything that you do is a part of you, so just do what you are. I'm like, man, you are the most accepting people in the world.
It's a bad reflection on NBC Sports Boston, powered by Xfinity, delivered by Sabre.
No, but actually, I think they like it because what happens is sometimes people will tweet either at me or at my employer with a picture of me saying, like,
it's exposure.
How do you let this guy on TV? And most times... There's been 2 biggies in particular. Most times, it's been a picture where I honestly couldn't
think you look great.
Imagine a better picture of myself. One of my friends, after one of them, because I'll quote tweet it with, just a heads up, you might want to use a picture where I don't look incredible. One of my friends, straight guy, texted me after one of those and was like, dude, the picture that someone used to try to suggest you're ugly, I'm ready to risk it all.
It's not necessarily ugly. It just looks like you have traveled in time from a different decade.
It's like real 70s stuff.
And just walked onto a modern day sports set.
Yeah.
And it's so jarring.
Did you see the thing I saw today on Twitter? Like GQ or something posted a thing that said, what is it? Bootcut jeans are back. And I was like, hell yeah. Then I was way ahead of this curve, because if people are going to start wearing bootcut jeans, they're also going to probably start doing like the long hair and mustache look, and it's going to take them forever to catch up. I can just jump in right now, buy a pair of bootcut jeans. What could they cost? $10, yes. And I'm in business.
Right, and we have Texas shirts. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's a good part of that look. I just feel like NBC Sports Boston is enabling you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good.
If that's a good thing.
I believe in enabling.
Yeah.
I mean, please, you're talking to the granddaddy of steering into the skid. And it's basically
if you want to drive your car off a cliff, go for it,
paraphrasing that is just enable whatever you think you're doing. But, so some people will say, how do you let this guy on TV, blah, blah, blah. And then once I point that out, some other people will take pictures of me and tweet at my employer or whatever and be like, hey, I was watching TV and this beautiful man was on there. Why is he so beautiful? So that's
it's
fun,
good for the brand.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do. Keep doing it if you want. I'm probably gonna trim my hair at some point soon.
It's pretty fucking long.
You're right. It's just like it's not necessarily annoying. Like sometimes I'll wear a hat to sleep. I'll wear like a winter hat just because I don't want to deal with the mess of stuff getting in my face. But I cannot tell if my clothes don't fit because of lifting, which I've been doing now for, I don't know, probably like a couple of months now.
At least.
Right. And I've actually been sticking to it, and really, like, there's been minimal skipping involved because I'm lifting, not skipping. Am I right? Because skipping is a type of exercise. Would that count as exercise?
Cardio.
Yeah, it's a type of cardio. But yeah, I don't know. And now I can't tell if
where's
what
it
I'm
tight.
My pants and my shirts.
But like any particular area, like if it's tight in the shoulders,
my suit jackets are definitely more
you're
snug.
You're not getting fat in your shoulders. I don't think that
True.
fat happens there.
True, but yeah, I don't know, but I don't know if my belly is as big or bigger or small or whatever.
Maybe your belly's just trying to catch up to your width.
That's true, because my belly is
trying to keep your proportions in check.
My belly is seeing growth happen, and I have trained my body over the years to when anything's growing, it's my belly. So my body and my metabolic rate, let's just throw something like that in there, is seeing a change and thinking that it's supposed to be the one making that change.
Maybe your stomach just has FOMO. It's like, yo, you guys are getting bigger. What the fuck?
Yeah. My stomach is getting revenge bod on my own body. My stomach,
your stomach
is seeing that my body left it to be a little bigger, and it's like, oh yeah, well,
look what I got going on now.
Right. And so I'm just gonna have
your revenge bod
like
is sabotaging your revenge bod.
Right, like decent arms and a revenge belly that's gonna go out a million miles. So that's that. I didn't know if I had brought it up yet on this podcast. I brought it up to you, brought it up to some friends. What I've fallen into is a thing called clang bang. Okay. It's like a bang bang, which you should know from the late Louis C.K.'s television show, is when you eat 2 meals back to back. Do it all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, great time. Did it in Atlanta with barbecue, breakfast, and like peach cobbler things. That was probably like a triple bang.
We are bang bang vets.
Yes.
Happy Veterans Day to us.
Jesus. So, yes. So that's what a bang bang is. I've fallen into something called a clang bang, which is when you go to the gym, throw around some weights, and then there's a place next door to your gym that you really like to get food from. And,
I've heard of it.
And then you eat that food. We're not going to say what it is, because if I say that place, then it's going to out my gym, and I don't want anyone else going there.
What kind of food is it?
The good stuff. It's a sandwich.
Okay.
And it's, boy, oh boy, I get that sandwich left and right. I've been getting it so much, in fact, that... So I'm probably gaining weight from going to the gym, and also making going to the gym a remarkably expensive habit.
Yeah.
Because
it's true.
I go 3 times a week, and then I go get food, get a drink, maybe mix some fries in there. Sometimes
Jesus.
you want to explore the rest of the menu.
Is it Five Guys?
What?
Is this a Five Guys experience? No. Okay, I was going to say, that is like...
if it were a Five Guys, then I would not be here, because I would be in, what's it called? I'd be in bankruptcy jail. I'd be so bankrupt from... Five Guys is so expensive.
Really?
It is so...
I don't go very often,
yeah.
But you would either be... I guess you could be in bankruptcy jail, or you'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
Because you can't eat Five Guys that much.
Five Guys... I love Five Guys for what it is. For some reason, Five Guys gets a bad rap, I feel. No?
I don't think so. But, like, it's Five Guys is like a holiday to me. Like,
I just said rap
really
like
Steven
Adams.
Steven Adams?
I said it gets a bad rip. But what you'll treat yourself to Five Guys?
Yeah, like, that's like a... Oh, it's a big event sort of thing.
It's like I'm not doing anything today.
You can't.
Right.
You can't. I think we've talked about this, but once you eat Five Guys, you better clear off the next 3 hours of your schedule at minimum.
Want to know one of the craziest things that I've done? You know the episode of Creation where it's called Porter Gets HBO. Why do I remember the title of that episode?
Yeah,
and I can't remember... Dude, I've been having this like memory loss thing that's been going on where I'll like lose my place. I've had it like 5 times this episode where I'm talking and I like black out and then somehow I find my footing and then I continue. I looked it up. They said it might be like a sign of Parkinson's or something. Oh, I don't know. But I remember the name of that episode. Infuriating.
I don't
remember a season 2 Crashing episode.
I don't remember the names of any episodes of any TV show.
There's
maybe Seinfeld.
There's Pete and Leaf is an episode, I think.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's just names of characters,
right? Yeah, it's the one where they're staying on the couch together or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I think they
in
might
his
have
garage.
sex. Yeah. But what was I saying? Fuck. There it is again.
Porter Gets HBO.
Porter Gets HBO. He gets one of the characters gets to be on this Whitney Cummings stand-up thing,
right, yes, the stand-up,
and he has a beard.
Yeah.
And in like the
very
5
good
minutes
episode.
before he's gonna go on, he starts to have like a panic attack, and he's like, "Should I trim my beard?" And he trims it a little bit and trims so much, and then like by the time he goes on stage, he is completely clean shaven, and he just it's like this big freak.
He's a nervous
thing.
wreck.
Yeah.
He's like a guy who's not really funny.
Yeah.
And then he end up riffing on the fact that he doesn't have a beard like the entire time.
He realizes when he gets on stage that his entire set is about being a guy with a beard.
Yeah.
So he's like, I look like a guy who should, and he's like, now again, keep in mind, imagine me saying this if I had a beard, which ends up being
good bit.
way funnier. Yeah. So it all works out for him. But yeah, I had one of those things. I had to do something for work that was like a big deal to me. I was hosting a show by myself for the first time, and it's like it's in the grand scheme of things not a big deal at all, but it's just like something I had never done before, and the day of I was like, I'm gonna be fine, whatever. It's just a different version of something that I do kind of often, so this will be fine. And like 2 hours before I was supposed to leave, I was starting to get a little antsy, and then like 45 minutes before I was supposed to leave, I went to Five Guys and just like got so much food from Five Guys and binge ate friggin' Five Guys before I was supposed to put on a suit and do a... I feel like you shouldn't be allowed to wear a suit within
after 5
2.5 days of
not.
Five Guys. Because Five Guys is... So anyway, that was my version of doing that. That's like a crazy, weird, self-destructive freak-out thing. But yeah, Five Guys is definitely I'm not doing anything the rest of today or maybe tomorrow thing. I'm going to see the world champion Boston Celtics on Saturday because I don't have to work on Sunday because the Patriots have a bye.
Dead.
Yeah, because the Patriots are resting in peace for the week. Mm-hmm. And I'm so excited. I'll probably go to the Celtics game, maybe get drunk.
Ooh.
And then on Sunday
talking.
I'll probably sleep in and then eat Five Guys.
That sounds like a good weekend, honestly.
So anyway, back to my question. Why do you think I'm getting wide?
No,
I think I've gained weight.
I'm more curious about this sandwich now. Like, how bad is it on a scale of like 1 to 10 for you? If Five Guys is like a 10.
It's a big sandwich. Can I I'm going to mouth to you or I'm going to sign to you what it is.
Okay. Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah, it's not good for you. Definitely
and like
not.
I'm telling them to put stuff on it.
Yeah, and like it's a hefty meal.
It's like a deposit
yes.
all of the fat into my body.
That is a lot.
But it's a meat-based sandwich, so in my mind, hey, I'm just getting some protein.
I mean, you could definitely eat worse for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's a great habit.
I've probably checked from time to time, like, hey, you guys don't have sweet tea here, do you? Give me some sweet tea. With sugar, please.
I'm pretty lucky. Like, my gym is located in an office park in the fucking middle of nowhere. And the only, I guess, sort of like the only quick restaurant that's around there is a Jimmy John's. And I don't even know. I don't know how to feel about Jimmy John's. I've had it a few times. I'm not a big fan. They're too fucking heavy on the mayo on every Jimmy John's sandwich.
I do no mayo pretty much on everything, unless it's like if there's a Cuban type thing going on, and they're like, oh well, it's half mayo, half whatever. I'm like, okay, but just don't. I'm watching you. Don't do too much of it.
Yeah. So I don't often indulge in after gym restaurant trip.
But as you work out and you get bigger and wider and stuff. Do you do your clothes sizes change?
Yeah, I mean that's what happens when you get like in better shape. Things get tighter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So obviously not great for suits and stuff.
Right. It just means I'll have to get new clothes.
Yeah, probably not like t-shirts.
You're like, for you, I'd probably wait. You might get back to that.
I wouldn't commit.
Let's give it a few months.
Yeah. No, but t-shirts and stuff you won't have to.
Yeah,
and even pants, really. Yeah. Like, unless you don't wear like super tight pants.
No,
you have room. You have like a little bit of room to grow into.
I think that maybe it's good because it will put me on a clothes buying halt because I have no idea what clothes size I am or if something's going to fit me in a week. So basically, I'm just going to wear joggers and Jason Tatum jerseys.
Also, I feel like this is sort of a dangerous thing to tell you, but like at any time you can just be like, okay, I like this, and you can just maintain.
Oh, I feel like that would be a tricky thing for me. How would I do that?
Well, yeah, your body,
just
from what I've heard, fluctuates, and I guess like a lot of people fluctuate.
Yeah,
I've like never. My body just fucking stays the same.
Yeah.
And so, it's easy for me to maintain, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how I would do it. Would you just
just like stay on the same sort of weight, and you just kind of do the same shit?
I've been. If I can say so myself, I've been moving up in some of the weight things. Don't look now, but someone benches triple digits.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, for like a couple of weeks. And by that, I mean probably like a week.
Nice. I'm proud of you.
I'll always remember in the night of when the trainer goes up to John Turturro's character when he's working out and is like, "Stop following me or I'll kill you." And right, remember he's John Turturro's benching and the trainer comes over, the guy that he's checking out, and he lowers the bar over his neck. Yeah. Everyone's watching that and they're like, "Oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh, John Turturro benches so much more than I do." Because I think he had like 45s on there. I was like, "Oh, I'm not even close."
John fucking Turturro with his feet rash.
Yeah. I've got 35s on there.
That's still good. It's good.
It's higher than when I started.
Improvement, yes.
Yeah, and to everybody out there, I don't think that anybody listens to us or especially me for any sort of like it's okay, like we're just like you kind of stuff, because that would make them feel terrible. But so I don't think that me saying like, "Hey, don't be ashamed about how much you bench," because blah blah blah, because everyone listening is like, well, even if I am, I still bench more than you, dude, so shut up. We all got a lot of stuff going on, whether you're gaining weight, losing weight, gaining friends, losing friends. That one's more fun. Contact lenses shouldn't be a problem, shouldn't be one of the things, shouldn't be stressing about contacts. And Simple Contacts is the most convenient way to renew your contact lens prescription and reorder your brand new contacts from, get this, anywhere in how long you think it takes?
Minutes.
Why would you say minutes?
Seconds.
No, you should have said like, I don't know, days. And I go, yeah, try minutes.
Oh, okay.
I know. Days? Did you say days?
Days?
Nope.
Months?
Other way.
Years? Even. Oh, wow. No way.
Yep. So lower than days.
Hours.
Half days.
Oh, half days.
Nope.
Hours?
Close.
Quarter days?
Try minutes. Yeah. Instead of heading to the doctor year after year, just renew them for something you wear daily. Or you can do it on your own terms, or you can do it on your own time and terms in just a few
years.
Minutes.
Oh, wow.
This is vision care, folks, for the 21st century. I'm talking about Simple Contacts. Need to renew your prescription? Take 5 minutes. Simple Contacts vision test online. Take that test. It'll be reviewed by a licensed doctor. You receive renewed prescription and you reorder your contacts. All you need is your current contacts, an internet connection, and 10 feet of space. Even if you're totally out of contacts, even if you're totally out of touch, they've got an option for you too. And if you have an unexpired RX and need more contacts, just upload that photo of it, baby. Upload a photo, your doctor's information, and your lenses. They do the hard work for you and take care of verifying and confirming your prescription. It's convenient, it's fast, reliable. It's designed by ophthalmologists, and a licensed doctor reviews every test so you can skip the office visit, but not the care. They bring a doctor to you. You're going to get a 5-star experience. You're going to get You're not going to get snake oil. I misread that. You're going to get all the brands and types of lenses with which you're familiar, so you don't have to shop around, and it's going to save you money. The vision test is only $20. Compare that with an appointment, which without insurance could cost up to $200. The contact lens prices are unbeatable. Standard shipping is free, and plus they've got they're offering a promotion to all their listeners. It's a $20 offer with our unique URL and promo code. That's simplecontacts.com/brunch20 and enter the code brunch20 at checkout. This isn't a replacement for your periodic full eye exam, but it's awesome. We only test the current prescription still helps you see 20/20 and renew that prescription. They don't completely need new RXs or examine eye health. You've got to use Simple Contacts. It's the best.
I actually do, and it's very great.
Peter
it's very
does.
easy. Very
he goes
convenient.
to simplecontacts.com/brunch20 and he enters code brunch20 at checkout. Okay, now that read is done, I think that I might need contacts because it was in a PDF that I was reading it. Very, very small. I was enlarging. I was making it smaller.
You're doing a lot.
Very, very tough. Tough to read on your phone. Another thing that's tough to read on your phone, I got a little bone to pick. StubHub.com. You know StubHub?
I sure do. Not a sponsor of the podcast.
They do this thing where they email you and they say, David, you've just scored Celtics tickets, and it's like ... and I know that they're not actually giving me Celtics tickets. Yeah. And then I click on it, and the whole thing says Celtics tickets at a new low price, and I'm like, I knew it was going to be that. And then a couple days will go by, and it'll be like, hey David, thinking about going to this concert? Well, we have tickets for you, totally free. And then you press it and it's like totally free at a new low price, and every time the wording that they use seems so much like they're going to give you tickets, and I know that they're not just going to give you tickets time? And every time I do, because one of these days they're going to email me and be like, DJ, we have some tickets for you, don't you want them? And I'm not going to open it. I'm going to ignore them, and they're going to be like, well, guess we're never going to give that guy tickets again.
I don't think that's ever going to happen, to be honest with you. One thing I wanted to check in, how are you feeling? Last week we had one of our angriest episodes yet.
What was angry? Oh,
this is Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Terrible Queen movie.
Any lingering anger?
Yes, actually. I listened to... that sounded very clean, like it was set up, but it's really not. You're just...
right. No, that was a genuine question.
Well, it's funny you should ask. But yes, I listened to the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the soundtrack has a mix of Don't Stop Me Now that is so bad that I don't know whose fault it was. I tweeted, I don't know who's responsible for this, but this is the worst thing I've ever heard, because it's Don't Stop Me Now, but they added a bunch of stuff to Freddie's voice, and they added guitar in the verses, which the cool thing about Don't Stop Me Now, pretty sure I even brought this up with the Houndmouth guys, is that there's no guitar in that song until the guitar solo, which is so cool, because it's just this cool, tight rhythm section of the piano, the bass, drums, very tight, but it's this big, crazy, exciting song, and they don't even need guitar. This terrible version is like, so don't stop me because I'm having a good time. And it sucks. It's noisy and it's terrible. It makes me so mad. Hate it.
Yeah, you discussed that in the group chat, and Jeff brought up the fact that he was a bit shocked that it's the song at the ending credits, and because he said he wrote it was like Freddie Mercury dies of AIDS. Hard cut to, 'cause I'm having a good time now. And I was like, well, having a good time. That movie is over.
Yeah, having a great time once that movie ended.
My bone to pick with the soundtrack is that the fact that they include the fucking 20th Century Fox theme in it, which... maybe you can argue that it's a cool little thing to fit the theme of the movie. We already discussed it's not. It's fucking cool. Cheesy and terrible.
Yeah, hate it.
But for them to then turn around and put it on the soundtrack when it's just like a very poorly done, shitty Queen ripoff. When you had Brian May at your disposal,
right,
and you put it on the soundtrack, I was like, oh my god, fuck this.
Really annoying. I'll also bring up, I've gotten some questions of late about a band given the Greta Van Fleet hate. It's a band that we've talked about before, so I'll just be really quick with it. But people have said, hey, given that you hate Greta Van Fleet, what do you think about the Struts? And the Struts are a band that are like very Queen and very Freddie Mercury-esque. I love the Struts because they are clearly in on the joke, and they know like they're this out of time act.
Right, yeah.
That like this is what we bring to the table, and we know that 2018 probably doesn't want it, but yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, and they they have personality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, they're a real band.
Their frontman, we saw them, where was that?
Lollapalooza.
And we saw them at Lollapalooza, and
they had an early set, and they just had a huge crowd because people want to rock.
Yeah, and their frontman is one of the most entertaining, most, like, it is a fucking spectacle to watch that guy, because he just completely commands a stage.
Yeah.
And he is, like you said, straight out of a different era.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, that is 100% who he is, and you can tell that. Like, that comes through in a performance. We talked about Greta Van Fleet. They are, like...
in costumes. They're the worst.
In costumes.
Hate them.
They're just, like, performing a role, whereas this guy, that is what he was born to be.
Yeah. So... the Struts, good. They were actually in town recently, and I didn't know that they were here. They were in town with White Reaper opening, and I'm so mad that I missed that because I would have loved that show. Speaking of shows, we said it was coming. This part's for the Patreon listeners only. So we give the Patreon listeners Patreon subscribers some content that's only for them. And we put it in the episodes that everybody can listen to. So this one goes out to the Patreon listeners. We were going to do a full-on review of an Everybody Loves Raymond episode because we both have DVRs full of it. And I watched one that was not on your DVR, so we're just going to review 2 Everybody Loves Raymond episodes to each other.
And that's what we call a tease because now we got to read. All right, it's time to talk about The Athletic. You probably already know what it is, but if you don't, The Athletic is a subscription-based sports website that it has all the names that you probably recognize from sports media. They're picking up writers left and right. They've got guys like Jason Stark, Zach Harper, Sam Amick, Frank Azzola, Pierre LeBrun, Jay Glazer. A ton of great team-specific writers for sports all over the place. Hockey, basketball, baseball, you name it. So if you are not yet a member of The Athletic, not yet a subscriber, we've got a great deal for you. It is, if you go to theathletic.com/brunch, you'll get a deal for 40% off, $2.99 a month. That's crazy. It's a crazy deal with a ton of content. The Athletic is a subscription-based publisher of smarter sports coverage for diehard fans. The model is simple. There's no ads, no pop-ups, no autoplay videos. Instead, readers subscribe for authentic, in-depth coverage written by journalists who know the teams inside and out. Know the teams, know the sports. It's great, great coverage. Subscribers have access to local and national content with more than 650 to 700 news stories published every week across all sports. And the coverage goes beyond traditional game recaps and trade speculations. They provide smarter analysis and a deeper perspective about teams and leagues. There's a very strong emphasis on storytelling for The Athletic. The content is great. You can't beat it for $2.99 a month. So go to theathletic.com/brunch, and that gives you a 40% off discount. It ends up coming up to $2.99 a month. Again, you can't beat it. So theathletic.com/brunch, 40% off, $2.99 a month. Subscribe and be a part of the future of sports journalism. All right, we're back. So we watched 2 separate... before we get into this, if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, shut your damn ears because you're not allowed to listen to this one. This is a Patreon exclusive.
Please don't steal our content.
Right. Please respect our privacy and our Patreon.
Please respect our Patreon at this time.
Yes, please respect our Patreon at this time. Or
at this difficult time, Stanley died.
If you would like to continue listening, please go to our Patreon and become a valued member of that Patreon.
Hit the pause button, please.
Yes, please subscribe, and then you will be allowed to listen to this segment. It is, if you want to subscribe to the Patreon, it's patreon.com/listen to brunch.
Okay, do we have everybody who should be here right now? I'm gonna give a couple more seconds for anybody to filter out.
You in the back,
if you want to filter
you in the
out,
back. You're not a member. I don't recognize you. Please turn this off.
I love in The Office when Michael's doing the auction and he's like, "The man in the back. Is there someone in the back? Someone in the back?" Jim just looks behind him, looks at the camera, shakes his head like, "Nope, no one in the back." Very funny. So I'm excited to do this. Who should go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The episode that I watched was called The Bachelor Party.
Nice.
It is from season 7. I believe it's episode 23.
We clearly chose these based on the episode titles because I also did one that made me think,
Yeah, I for sure chose The Bachelor Party because I was like, wonder where this is gonna go.
Yeah.
It is exactly what you'd expect. It's Robert's getting married, and he asked for a bachelor party, and Ray's in charge of throwing it, completely fucks it up. Every aspect of the bachelor party. The episode opens, it's him, Robert, it's Ray, Robert, and their friend, I forget I don't know his name.
Oh, the curly hair guy with the glasses?
No, not that guy. The guy who looks like a angry
the
Italian
bald guy? Yeah.
No, he's not bald. He's got a full head of hair. He looks like an angry Italian guy, like Long Island guy.
Is he an Italian guy? Is it Marco, the owner of the pizza place? Because that guy was featured prominently in the episode I watched.
I don't know. But it's one of their good friends, and I forget his name. But it's the three of them. They're playing cards, but in Robert's apartment, he's moving out of his apartment soon because there are boxes everywhere. They're playing cards on a cardboard box.
Nice.
And it's like it starts off, none of them are talking, and then like 3 minutes into the scene, it's like the third friend is like, I gotta tell you, Ray, this is the worst bachelor party I have ever been to. So it establishes that. Basically what happens, Ray has to is forced to throw Robert a second bachelor party because the first one failed so bad.
Nice.
And then like the second one fails bad as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Ray fucks up everything. It is the most terrible bachelor party. They throw it at Frank's Lodge. There's no alcohol. They hang a banner that says "Congratulations, Woody."
I did see that.
I used that for a tweet. But my biggest takeaways from this episode, number one, I did not know that Jungle Love by Steve Miller Band became the Everybody Loves Raymond theme at some point during the show's run.
Jungle Love?
Yes.
Like Jungle Love by Morris Day and the Time?
I don't know if that's the same song. It
My
might be.
Jungle Love, oh. I think I wanna know ya.
I don't know. It's Jungle Love by the Steve Miller Band.
Maybe there's Steve Miller Band Jungle Love. It might be
well, there certainly is because it's the theme of this
this party.
No, it's the theme of the episode.
Okay,
like it is. They literally have the intro sequence set to Jungle Love by what episode did you watch?
I watched.
Like what season was it?
It was season 5.
Okay,
man, a lot of people have songs called Jungle Love.
Here we go. I'm gonna open it right here. Yep.
Oh yeah, I know this. Okay.
Yeah. So that is apparently at some point that became the fucking theme for Everybody Loves Raymond. I used to watch that show
it was
all
the opening
time.
Credits?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
I swear to God.
That's crazy.
I don't remember that at all. I used to watch the show all the time.
And this was season 6 or 7, you said?
7, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that happened, and then one of my notes is that at one point in the episode, Ray says the line, "Robert doesn't do that womanish double talk."
Oh,
and
man.
I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the stuff that I signed up for when I clicked on The Bachelor Party."
Yeah,
it's
guys
like
smoking cigars, talking shit about women.
Yes, no, but this was in front of women.
Oh, really?
Yes, this was.
Well, he said something crazy in front of women in the episode I watched, but go ahead.
This is Ray was when the women. It was Ray, Amy, Deborah, and Marie were convincing Ray to throw a second bachelor party. Ray was like, "No, Robert told me he didn't want to make it a big deal. Don't make it a big deal." So I didn't make it a big deal. And Deborah goes, When somebody says don't make it a big deal, they always mean make it a big deal.
Sometimes, yeah.
And Ray responds, "No, Robert doesn't do that womanish double talk." And so I was like, yeah, Ray. That seems about right.
Ray.
And then quickly thereafter, Ray asked for sex.
That sounds like it.
Par for the course.
He's like, well, now that I've got shorts on.
Yes. And speaking of par for the course, he gets denied. And then he responds to further entice Deborah into having sex with him. He says, "But I've got Jell-O."
How does the rest of the party go?
Not very well. There is a bevy of cameos, though.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that there are a lot of like recurring players throughout.
Especially early on in the series.
Yeah, but this is basically like the courtroom scene, the finale of Seinfeld. Where they bring everybody in. Uncle Leo is there.
Wonderful.
He plays, I'm assuming, an uncle of the family.
So similar to Seinfeld.
Yes. The awkward cousin, who, speaking of Seinfeld, was the Seinfeld writer.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The awkward cousin, he plays an accordion.
Wonderful.
Yep. That's par for the course for him. Fred Willard, Amy's dad.
Yep, I forgot about that. He cheats.
He's a masturbator, isn't he?
Oh, right. Yes, that's right.
In IRL.
Yeah.
I
thought that he was Deborah's dad.
No, he's Amy's dad, I believe. He's Amy's dad. Wait.
I thought he was Deborah's dad. I could be wrong.
I thought he was Deborah's dad, too, because he comes into play a lot.
Right, yeah.
No, but I don't know. But isn't Fred Willard a theater masturbator?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the brother... Is it Amy's brother or Deborah's brother? He's the Take My Strong Hand child guy from Scary Movie.
Oh, what's his face?
I don't know his name, but he's the butler with the fucked up hand.
I don't know if I remember that well. I only remember Deputy Doofy. It's the only thing I remember.
Yeah, so it's like a who's who of Everybody Loves Raymond cameos, and then at the end there's the women ask Robert and Ray if there were strippers.
Yeah,
and Ray says no. That's why we're here.
So strip ladies.
Yes. So that was that was the problematic pieces that I could pick up from that episode. It was actually a pretty good episode, to be honest with you.
They're all pretty good. I watched an episode. It was season 5, episode 21, called "Let's Fix Robert." I think it's important to note at this point that like Robert is just like our god probably now, right?
Yeah, I fucking love Robbie.
Like Robbie Perone is
Barone?
Yeah, whatever.
Yes.
Is
Robbie Peroni.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know, he is to us what Jonah Hill is to all the hipsters, you know?
Well, in the episode that I watched, it was there was like the line in exchange, it was like, but Robert was very depressed and sad after the bachelor party, and Ray was like, Yeah, he's Robert.
Because it's Robert, yeah.
So that basically sums up why Robert is our god.
Do you follow Brad Garrett?
No, I don't, but I should.
That guy despises Donald Trump.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he is, all of his tweets are, he really doesn't like Trump. Love him. Sometimes, like, I'll respond to some of his tweets with, like, go off, King. Love him. And sometimes, like, he'll tweet, like, man, I miss Everybody Loves Raymond. And I'll be like, don't we all, pal?
And the great thing about that is that, like, Brad Garrett's not tweeting Trump hate for, like, the Twitter validation.
Right.
Like, I imagine Brad Garrett as being a guy who does not give a fuck about Twitter.
Right. I feel now at this point, if you're tweeting Trump hate for Twitter validation, like, it almost doesn't count. It's like when people, I saw someone tweet, what was it? And I know that just because we're not technically talking about Everybody Loves Raymond right now doesn't mean that
you can't listen.
You can't jump back in.
No.
Somebody tweeted, depression is a choice.
Oh,
if you're depressed, you're choosing to be weak, blah, blah.
That was a Ken Jack special.
Everybody was quote tweeting it and mocking it. And I was like, this isn't even registering for me because it should be so obvious by this point that line of thinking doesn't make any sense. They're like, there's no point in even drawing attention to it. Yeah. So I didn't do it. And that's what I feel with like Trump stuff. If you've got to point out, or if you feel the need to be like, I
get
hate
a load
Trump,
of this bad guy.
Yeah, like, I would think that you're doing it just to point out, like, hey, everyone, this guy's a psycho, versus to kind of do the, like, I want to play. Like, I don't think that anybody anymore is shitting on Trump for any sort of validation, but just to be like, hey, this guy is the worst. So, in Let's Fix Robert, episode 21 of season 5, it opens, they're at this pizza place where they sometimes go, and they use it more earlier in this series than anything else, but Amy and Deborah are at this restaurant, and Amy is all excited because Robert was with another woman who he used to date, apparently, while they were together, and she was going to meet this woman who works at this restaurant and, like, give her a piece of her mind. And Deborah's eating breadsticks. Amy won't eat one because she says, I want to be skinny when I see this woman.
Okay.
Not how it works.
Yeah.
And eventually the woman comes over, and it's this woman named Stefania, and much to Amy's chagrin, she's a hottie. Real hottie.
What's her name?
Stefania.
Yeah, she's
she's Italian.
Name. That's a hot name.
She's Italian. She's got the zizzigs going. She's just got everything. And she's really nice. And Amy says, well, you know my ex-boyfriend Robert because he was with you while we were together, and this woman is so mad, and she said that Robert said that he wasn't with anybody, blah, blah, blah. They become fast friends very quickly. They bond over their hatred of Robert. In this still opening scene, Ray walks in to pick up a pizza, and they're like, oh, Ray's here. And I'm like, since when is there like a Cheers Central Perk type element to Everybody Loves Raymond? He says to the guy, Marco, who works the owner, he says, hey, Marco, is my pizza ready? And Marco says, he said, hey, when will my pizza be ready? And Marco says, when I say it's ready. Seemingly, Marco hates
very
Raymond.
Bad customer service.
Right. He hates Raymond.
That's a bad Yelp review waiting to happen.
So Raymond gets his pizza, walks over to their table to say hello to his wife and Robert's 2 ex-girlfriends, and they say, where are you taking that pizza? Are you taking it somewhere to eat it with Robert? And in my mind, I'm like, that's really mean and sad. They assume that, like, everything he does, he just fucking sits around with his brother and his dad. And then I was like, oh, that's definitely what he's going to do with that pizza. There's no chance he was like taking it back to the office or anything.
He doesn't have an office.
Right. He has his house, and and his brother and dad are always at his house.
Yes.
So
and he just doesn't work.
So he says, what I do with my pizza is none of your business.
Ooh,
and they said, ooh, I bet you are taking it back to Robert. Let me see that pizza. He gives it to them for some reason. And Stefania and Amy put their fingers in the pizza, and they mess it up, and they go, yeah, they mess it up.
What the fuck?
Raymond's like, you guys suck, dude. And he leaves with the pizza, goes back to his house, where Robert and Frank are waiting to split one large cheese, or they had toppings, but one pizza with 3 people. Ridiculous.
Preposterous.
If I'm going to eat pizza with one other person, I try to get a third person because I know that means that now we can get like
2
6 pizzas. Yes. No, like once you're getting multiple pizzas, you're like, you know what?
Let's go crazy.
Right. I love going to, I love being in a big crowd with people, like 3 or more at a pizza place. Because then you get a million different pizzas, and you're like, oh, and we'll just try. Yeah. And the best part of that is there's no way anyone's keeping count of how many slices you're having. No. So I'll go
It's a race to the finish.
Yeah. I'll go to, where is it? The best pizza place in the world, Frank Pepe.
Yeah.
And I'll get a bunch of different types of pizzas with a few different people, and we'll just sit there for like an hour and just grab at random pies. And there's so much pizza there that nobody's counting. Right. It's like... I don't know, it's like embezzling money in a business that's so big that you're only, that like if you take 1,000, no one's going to see it.
Yeah, nobody's going to know.
No one's going to miss this pizza. So, anyway, 3
Some personal news from me. Yeah. I had to throw away some pizza this week because we had a situation. My sister
Active rat?
Yes, yeah. My sister had a gender reveal party last week. Very sad news for me because I hate gender reveal
parties. How old
parties.
Is her child?
Not
old enough to realize that themselves and then reveal it?
Yes.
Okay.
So we had a gender reveal party. A lot of pizzas were ordered. I took a bunch home.
Yeah.
Just couldn't get to it.
I love having extra pizza and taking it home.
Yeah, just couldn't get to it. There was so much pizza that I couldn't get to it. Had to throw it away. Very, very sad week for me.
Again,
please
still,
respect my thoughts.
Only Patreon listeners right now. So, so what happens? So Robert's like, they open up the box of pizza, and Robert goes, "What, did you flip the car?" And everyone's like, "Oh, boom, Raymond."
By everybody, you mean Frank.
You just got dog, bro. And Raymond is just like, there's Jamaican air horns going off. There's like,
there's a fucking like streaker.
You suck, Raymond. Like the people from the bachelor party that hasn't happened for another couple seasons come. They're hoisting up Robert, doing for he's a jolly good fellow, and Robert's really feeling on cloud.
Fatality.
Yeah. Finish him. Rest in peace, Stanley.
Stanley makes a cameo and is like, "Ooh, you fucking dead, bro, more than me."
And so that happens, and shoot. So Robert's like, "What happened? What'd you flip the car?" And Raymond's like, "Well, no. It's just that your 2 ex-girlfriends got their hands on the pizza, and they mess it up." And Robert said, "Both of them together? What were they doing together?" And he said, "Well, they met each other, and they seem to not like you too much." And Robert's really upset, super distraught. So he leaves and goes to Marie's house, walks into the kitchen. Marie's there. She says, "Oh, hi, honey. How are you?" And he said, "I'm a loser, and everybody hates me. Can you make me something to eat?" Laugh track. And that's actually what happens. And she's like, "Oh, well, sure, sweetie." She goes to the cabinet, gets a bag of chips, gives it to him, and she is like petting him as to be like, "Okay, now go on ahead and leave. Thank you. Thanks for coming." And he's like, "Whoa, what are you doing? I told you, like, I'm kind of hurting here. Right. Like, can you make me some food?" And she says, "Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm just in the middle of something right now, but maybe if you come back later, I'll make you a plate." And he says, "Well, what do you have going on?"
Ooh, the 2 ex-girlfriends came over the house.
She brings him into the living room where Stefania and Amy are sitting there. They are getting together to all talk shit about Robert. Wow. And Robert says, "What is this? Why are you doing this?"
Whose ex-girlfriend brings another ex-girlfriend to their ex-boyfriend's mom's house.
Mom's house. And they're sitting there, and there's food for them. They got stuffed shells.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And, right.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, if I were Robert, I'd be like, you know what I will say. Yeah. So she said, so Robert says, "What is this? What are you doing?" And she said, Marie says, "Well, since you have such a hard time with women, I thought it would be helpful to get them together and we can discuss
a focus group?
Like what's wrong with you, basically." Oh, no. And Robert's like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this." Then Judy, Robert's partner, comes in and she's like, "Excuse me, I'm just coming back from the bathroom." And Robert says, "What is she doing here? I've never even dated her." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's still a woman, you know." So we thought that we would get them all together.
This is the war alliance, the women against Robert.
Right. So Robert is sitting there, very good, by the way.
Thank you.
And great job.
Thank you.
She and Marie's like, "So let's all go around and say something that Robert does that annoys us." Amy says, "He always eats my food. When we go to a restaurant, he says, 'I'll just have some of your dessert,' and then he eats the whole thing." And
Can't
then
hold that against him.
Yeah, and then Judy says, "He does that to me too. Sometimes I have to hit him with my nightstick."
Ooh,
Everybody laughs. Police brutality on police. And then Stefania's like, "Oh, well, this one drives me crazy. He's always like, 'Oh, I'm so sad. I don't want to go out tonight. Oh, I'm like, it sounds like this is some classic Everybody Loves Raymond humor where they're like, "Oh man, what a wet blanket that depressed guy is." Yeah. You know what your issue is with women, Robert? You're too depressed, you loser. So they do that, and
it's always like a good idea to help the depression by getting all of them in front of him to point out his problems and make fun of him.
Yeah. So there's no real resolution there. He leaves, and Marie says, "You know, it's crazy. I'm the only woman he's ever really gotten along with." And they laugh, and that's the end of the scene. And I'm like, I feel like there's some more we need to dig into there. So Robert now goes back across the street where Ray and Deborah are in the kitchen. Little twist. Deborah is rocking pigtails,
Interesting.
And what a hottie.
Yeah,
she looks great. Yeah,
forever.
Yeah,
throughout the course of the
queen.
run.
Yeah. And
no, there's a big reason why she's not having sex with Ray, because she's
she's like
miles outside of his league. Yeah. So, she would rather not have sex than have sex than stoop down to Ray's level.
She would rather not have the at bat than than play for that team.
Yes.
So Robert says to
Is there
them,
ever a lesbian storyline with Deborah in Everybody Loves Raymond? I feel like there should be.
So
I feel like she would consider batting for the other team.
I feel like everybody's their own person, so I don't think that she necessarily has any inherent qualities that would suggest that she's necessarily. So Robert says like, "Oh, this is horrible. Why are these women being so mean to me?" And Deborah just goes off on him, and she's like, yo, like, both of those women were great people, and, like, you cheated on one, and you broke up with the other, and blah, blah. And she gives this great speech, this awesome monologue, and it's this rant, and she says, if you run from a woman every time you notice a flaw, if every time you notice a flaw with a woman, you run to another one, it's never going to work, because that woman's going to have a flaw, too. Nobody's perfect. And Robert shoots back right away, you are.
Oh, wow.
Ray's sitting there, and he's like...
Excuse me?
What? And Deborah's like, that's such a nice thing that you said. And Ray's like...
Can we get back to this real quick?
That... Yeah, Ray's like, yo, I don't say that she's perfect. And he's like, I'm her husband. I don't say that she's perfect. Laugh track. And... there's this, like, kind of confrontation between Ray and Robert, which is, like, why are you saying that she's perfect? And he's like, well, I'm saying that, like, for you, she's perfect. That's what I'm saying, for you. And I was like, I didn't remember there being, like, a little love triangle situation here.
No.
So, eventually, Ray's like, well, why don't you say something that's wrong with her, then? Say something that's wrong with her. And Robert says a couple of things, and then he tells him to keep going. Deborah's like, all right, stop.
Had enough with this.
Just end this. There's a nice little compliment. So, Robert says, what I was just trying to say is that you're lucky. I'm very sorry. And he leaves, and Deborah serves Ray some food, and she says, you are lucky. And Ray struggles to cut into the meat. And as he finally cuts into it, as he puts it in his mouth, he says, I wonder if that was the name of this horse. And then the episode ends.
What?
Another thing, I should say the scene, Robert ends up leaving that little meeting with the exes because he says, look, it's very clear to me that I have hurt all of you in some way, and I feel terrible about that. I have a lot of shortcomings, and it's never been my intention to hurt anybody, and I'm so sorry that I ever did, but I promise, we all broke up because... we weren't right for each other, so I'm so sorry that I made you feel bad, but blah, blah, and I promise I'll never do anything to hurt any of you ever again. And it's like this kind of come to Jesus thing. And there's like silence, and Deborah and Marie says, okay, Robert, well, you really don't seem to be adding much to this meeting, so maybe you should leave. That's why he leaves. Okay. Yeah, great episode. It was quite crazy stuff, but I hope that was good for the Patreon listeners.
Yes, and so if you are not a Patreon listener, you can go ahead and resume listening now. Ooh, sorry, we're out of time. See ya.
Oh.